Great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on the Northwest 200 podcast. You're back again.
Back again, yes. Nice to get back for another year at it. It was pretty much a late deal, to be honest. Only a couple of weeks ago we agreed terms, and it's nice to be back on Supersport machinery, which is probably my preferred class. I've had a lot of wins in that class, so it'd be nice to come back and try and do it again.
Yeah, it's a class that you dominated for a very, very long time, isn't it?
Yeah, going back, I think I remember those races in the Juniper with Keith Moore and Hutchie, and we were three abreast going in there, and it was whoever let the brakes off and get through, close your eyes at times to get through. So a lot of Supersport wins, a lot of Superstock wins as well. It's probably the Superbike ones has been the ones that has been less of, but you can't complain. We've 29 racked up, and we're aiming for 30. So fingers crossed.
Tell us a little bit about the team that you're bringing to the Northwest. It's a new tie-up at the Northwest for you, anyway.
Yeah, the team. Well, actually, Dave Bench has history at the Northwest. He's the team owner. He's raced 250s back in the day, and he's done the Isle of Man or the Manx, and he's also raced at the Northwest. So it's nice to bring the team back. It'll be obviously new for the other guys, the crew and the mechanics. But a big shout out to 3B Construction, who's the main sponsors of the team, the main backers. And him and his brother sort of banged their heads together and says, let's give Alastair another chance at getting this 30. And obviously, me being with the team to 2024, I rode in British Supersport for them on Yamaha R6s, and Oliver Barr was my teammate. So he's the son of the 3B Construction. So it's all boding well. Last year, I actually got asked to come back and help the team in a bit of a mentor coaching role for the two young lads. At the time it was Oliver Barr and Joe Talbot was the riders. So it was nice for them to lean on my experience and guide the lads in a bit more of a straighter way. And they finished the year off quite strong. It was nice to go to Assen, and Oliver qualified in the front row, and he had 2 podiums that weekend, and then Joe almost won the second race at Assen. So to have 2 boys standing on the podium in the last race at Assen, and me only really being in the team for that job, it was very, very good.
It's time, though, for you not to be a mentor full-time, because you've still got lots to prove on track, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be all focus on me now from here to the Northwest. So we have to do testing. They've actually, for the first time, I'm getting a training bike. They're going to give me a Ducati V2 training bike. I've obviously loaded it into the van already and picked out like track days where I can ride local stuff, and might even enter a local Ulster Superbike meeting just to get some mileage. And the 3B Construction team and the bench racing team have organised for me to go to Spain middle of March for 3 days in Valencia. So with all this track days, and
it's important prep.
It's very important prep
for you?
Really, because I haven't rode a motorbike since the Northwest last year. So if you take that into consideration, that's, what are we, probably 8 months further down the line. Everybody else has had BSB to be riding around or some sort of racing. Even the likes of John McGuinness has done a few wildcards at British Superstock Championships. So them guys have still been keeping their eye in, whereas I basically stopped at the Northwest. Haven't swung my leg over a race bike since then. Obviously done the mentor coaching thing, which keeps me in the paddock, keeps me in a role. But for racing a bike, I need to get back into the swing of things and start getting seat time, as they call it, and go and do track days and basically just ride round and round and round till I'm sick.
Just how much more hard work is that for you to do to get yourself race ready for the Northwest 200? I mean, is there rustiness can creep in, or do you know the place so well that won't matter?
No, I think obviously for doing it for a number of years, you do find wee tricks of the trade, but realistically, you're going out against guys who will be doing BSB, who will be doing pre-season testing. So it's important for me to get up to speed, get some mileage done, and then obviously there's BSB official tests in April, and hopefully we'll be part of that as well. So then we'll go out with the guys who will be doing BSB, and hopefully, the bike will be good. It's just a matter of me gelling with the bike, and that's part of the reason behind this training bike, is to obviously start to learn the characteristics of the V2 Ducati, which, yes, I have rode it before. 2023, I was probably the first rider to ride a V2 Ducati on the road races. the Power Toolmate Ducati. I rode it that year, and actually on the Thursday night race, we set a new Supersport lap record. So I got to grips with it quite quickly. I just made a mistake on Sunday. I think I overshot Juniper Chicane, Saturday race. I overshot Juniper Chicane. I had to put my foot in the stop box, and then that dropped me down to 6th or 5th place, and then the leaders were gone, and only one lap to go, and I kind of just settled down instead of going crazy and just said, look, it's too much of a gap to bridge, just bring it home, and actually basically smashed the front of the bike. A blackbird or a starling or something hit the front of the bike on that last lap and destroyed the screen, destroyed the bird, went in behind the clocks of the bike and the dash, and basically I was spitting feathers.
What was that? What was that like? Something like that happens.
It was just a bang, and basically blood and guts everywhere, and the screen was disintegrated. And when I finished the race, we have pictures of it in the phone. The bird was obviously in amongst the back of the clocks and the dash. And I remember I had something in my mouth and I spat it out, and it was a bit of feather, from the bird. So I have to learn to keep my mouth shut from now.
Are you still as hungry as ever for success at the Northwest 200, even after all this time?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. I think it's this 30th win that's keeping me. I'm trying to, it's going to be the one where if I do, we've reached a milestone. 29's a nice figure. Obviously, it's a lot of wins, but 30 would be nice to cap it off or to round it up. So obviously, I get 2 bites of the cherry with this gig with Bench Racing, 3B Construction guys. Bike will be good. Get a lot of mileage under my belt prior to it, and then obviously come in the same frame of mind that I do every year and try and do the best we can.
So it's this magic number 30 that's just relighting your fire.
Yeah,
again.
it's just within grasp. I just have to try and make it happen.
And even if it doesn't happen, I mean, how will you reflect on what has been an incredible Northwest 200 career? I mean, there's nobody close to your number of wins. It's remarkable.
Yeah, it's a big target. It's a big X on my back, and guys are obviously knocking race wins out, and it's a bit of a distance away. You need to be. Like whenever we were getting hat tricks at the events, 3, and then there was one year, I think my best year, I got 4. So if you get 3s and 4s, you'd soon add it up. But it would take to do a lot of classes as well. You need to be doing super or sports bikes, which was Super Twin, and then if you're doing Super Sport, Super Stock, Super Bike, and if you had a good week, you could probably rattle out 6 wins, and a few 6 wins would soon take you close. So I'm just doing the best I can, try and stretch it on. If it happens, it happens. In the Northwest, there's guys have said to me, look, they've been going there for years and they've never had 1 win. So, count yourself lucky to have that many. And it takes a lot of dedication, effort. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing prior to it with doing what I do. And then obviously enjoy the week. It's a family event for us. We go up, park the motorhome up, chill out during the time that we have off, and then go as soon as you walk through the tunnel out onto the grid. It's business time.
Do you feel you've had the recognition that you deserve for holding such an incredible record at this event?
Yeah, it's nice to be recognised everywhere. I was on a trip last week over to England, Manchester, and obviously I was on the bus when I got off the plane, and somebody had said, is that Seeley? Is that Seeley? So obviously people know who you are, and it's nice to get recognised. And obviously you come off the back of, the likes of yourself who get invited to the BBC box at the rugby, Ulster rugby games, and you just nice to get invited to places you wouldn't usually get invited to.
Yeah, and a record I'm sure you are very, very proud of having, even though you want to try and extend it.
Yeah, it's I actually never really look at it that way and think back on it as like what we've achieved, but I suppose it's one of them ones when the dust settles and everything's finished and I start playing more golf and be more, proper retired. I've never actually announced retirement, and I haven't really thought of it because I still see myself competitive. Last year proved that we were on a super stock bike and a super bike class and a super stock class and finishing on podiums. So, age is only a number. You only need to ask Jeremy McWilliams that. He's 61, maybe 62 now, and he's still proper hungry. So, it's what drives you on inside. And if you're still getting podiums, then what's not to say that you can turn that into wins?
Will you be racing at 60, do you think?
I don't think I'll go to 60. No, I think I'll be piping slippers and playing more golf. I really enjoy the golf now. Is probably the thing where I get my kicks out of it now and really enjoy it. I suppose you have to be pretty good to enjoy it, I think.
And is there one moment at the Northwest 200 that kind of stands out above everything else?
Probably the day that we got the record, to become the most victorious rider, and that was the 16th win. So that was back in 2016.
And that was beating the great Robert Dunlop.
Robert Dunlop had the record, and obviously the name is legendary. Robert was fantastic round the Northwest. Even back to the times like JPS Norton he was riding, maybe not the best handling bike, but it was fast, and all he had to do was just try and hang on to the thing. And Liam Beckett would tell stories about how Robert, because obviously he was like Robert's helper, Robert's man, always by Robert's side. But Dunlop name up around that part of the world, it's notorious, it's legendary, and to get mentioned in the same sentence as them guys is pretty special. But 2016 was one of those ones where I'd been training so much during pre-season motocrossing with Martin Barr, our British Championship motocrosser, that he kind of said, you try and get the job done on Thursday night in one of the races, and then it takes off the pressure for the rest of the week. And I was determined in that it was the first race Thursday night, was the Super Sport race. Gearlink Kawasaki gave me a good bike, and it took me a while to settle in. And then once we did, it was we won the race, and that was job done, and pressure was off. And then that was the record, but to then go on and add on so many after that, so that was like 16, and now we're 29. So to knock another 13 out is pretty special. And as I say, now it's getting to the point where BSB guys are at the event. We're now attracting more BSB guys. It's not getting any easier, so you have to be on your A game. And I feel that the team have given me this V2 for training on. They want me to do as well as I can and give me every chance possible to try and add to the 29 and get this 30th. So it's all systems go. Training's underway. Going to keep riding the bike, and then hopefully on the race week we can have a good, enjoyable week. And if it doesn't happen, we can come back next year maybe.